Hi guys, today we are going to discuss one of the important topic, structure of nephron. In the previous video what we learned, how many types of nephron and what is the differences between the nephrons. We know that two type of nephrons are present. One is the cortical nephron, one is the juxtamedullary nephron. What is the major difference between the cortical and juxtamedullary nephron? What is the major difference? The loop of Annealy, length of the loop of Annealy is a major difference. And next one is what is the major difference? The region, yes or no, the both function will be same, the parts will be same, a little bit of length will be different. There is a loop of Annealy, either cortical nephron. In case of cortical nephron, the loop of Annealy, a little bit of loop of Annealy is present in the medullary region, but we take into the juxtamedullary nephron, the total loop of Annealy is present in the medullary region. This is a major difference between the cortical nephron and juxtamedullary nephron. This was learned in the previous video. Now in this video we can going to learn in detail, explain to the structure of nephron. Right, let us see. The nephron has two parts mainly. First I make a diagram nephron, later I am explain to the nephron. This is a structure of nephron. All of you know this is a cup like shape. This is called Bowman's capsule. This is called Bowman's capsule. And this Bowman's capsule is moving down, is continued with Bowman's capsule. Here depression or a coil, this coil part we call as PCT. Here PCT is continue, is descending, it means downward, descending, and again here depression, again upwards, it means ascending. One is a descending, one is the ascending. So this U shape we call as loop of Annealy. Loop of Annealy. This U shape we call as loop of Annealy. So again this loop of Annealy, so it means ascending limb, again coil part, this is called DCT. The final DCT is connecting with collecting duct. This is a structure of nephron. So now we are going to the in detail explain to the structure of nephron. Once I am recall to you, this is a cup-like shape. This is called Bowman's capsule. The continue is a Bowman's capsule. Here, the coil part, this is a PCT, and PCT continue is a descending, means downward, and here ascending in upward. Two arms are there. So U shape we call as loop of Annealy. Again this loop of Annealy here coil. This is called DCT. The finally this DCT is connecting with collecting duct. This is a structure of nephron. PCT means proximal convoluted tube. DCT means distal convoluted tube. Now we are going to the structure of nephron in detail. Now we are going to discuss the structure of nephron in detail. Let us see what is the nephron and what is the importance of the nephron. Nephron has a mainly two parts, is very important. The first one is Malpighian body. Nephron has a mainly two parts. The first one is a Malpighian body. The second one is renal tubule. These two parts are very important. Each nephron, or understand what I am saying, is very easy. Each nephron has a two parts. The first part is Malpighian body. The second part is renal tube. Now let us see what is the Malpighian body, what is the renal tubule. Let us see. The first one we are going to discuss Malpighian body. Later we are going to discuss renal tubule. First one, what is the Malpighian body? Malpighian body means here all of you know that this cup-like shape. This is a Bowman's capsule. The Bowman's capsule. Again coil, this is a loop of PCT. Right, let us see. Here, this is a Bowman's capsule. I make a red color, so blue color. This is a BW mean, this is a Bowman's capsule. This Bowman's capsule plus here Bowman's capsule, this is a one of the tube is there. This is the afferent arteriole. This is a AF. Afferent arteriole. This afferent arteriole this afferent arteriole dividing into the fine branches, it means capillaries, and these capillaries arranging the one tube. Here what we understand, this is a efferent arteriole. Very easy. So here what we understand, we know that this cup-like shape we call as Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule plus this is a afferent arteriole. This afferent arteriole tube came from the, we know that in the kidney having the two tubes. This one is a renal artery, one is a renal vein. So this afferent arteriole came from main artery. So that is the renal artery. So from this this is a renal artery. From this renal artery divided into some branches. These branches we call as afferent arteriole. So here blood is passing. So our main renal artery to afferent arteriole. Afferent arteriole divided into fine capillaries. These capillaries, and these capillaries arrange in one tube. This is a efferent arteriole. What we understand here, blood is passing through renal artery to afferent arteriole. Arteriole means the main artery divided into smaller branches. These branches we call as arteriole. So from this arteriole, the blood is passing to this bunch of capillaries. The bunch of capillaries we call as glomerulus. We call as very easy, glomerulus. What we understand here, this glomerulus and again arrange the very small tube, that is the efferent arteriole. This bunch of capillaries we call as glomerulus. Here Malpighian body means, the first one, Malpighian body. Malpighian body means Bowman's capsule. BW means glomerulus. This Bowman's capsule plus glomerulus together we call as a Malpighian body. Very easy. Malpighian body means very easy. We know that in nephron, each nephron has two parts. One is a Malpighian body, one is a renal tube. Now we are going to the first one, Malpighian body. What is the Malpighian body? This cup-like shape we call as Bowman's capsule. Already we know that. This Bowman cap here, depression here there. So this depression filled with capillaries. These capillaries came from afferent arteriole. It means afferent arteriole dividing the fine capillaries. The bunch of capillaries we call as glomerulus. These glomerulus again arrange the small tube, that is the efferent arteriole. This bunch of capillaries we call as glomerulus. Here Malpighian body means glomerulus plus Bowman's capsule we call as Malpighian body. Here the filtration will be takes place. Here in the glomerulus filtration will be takes place. Now we are going to in detail explain to the Bowman's capsule and glomerulus. Right, let us see. Now actually the nephron, the Bowman's capsule structure is like this. I am draw again this one. Malpighian body, I hope all of you understand. Malpighian body is very easy. Bowman's capsule plus glomerulus we call as a Malpighian body. Now I am make a diagram Bowman's capsule. Actually structure is Bowman's capsule. So make a diagram. This Bowman's capsule is having the two walls. One is the inner wall, one is the outer wall. Right, this is a Bowman's capsule. The Bowman's capsule having the two walls. One is the inner wall, one is the outer wall. The inner wall we call as inner wall we call as visceral wall. The outer wall we call as parietal wall. Okay, so here two wall is there. The inner wall is aligned with visceral, the outer wall lined with parietal. Let us make a draw visceral wall and parietal wall. Let us understand. I am using different color for your understanding. So first one I am using blue color. So what is that? First one, inner wall. This is the inner wall, is a visceral wall, is aligned with podocyte cell. What is a podocyte? Podocyte means the cells are like this. This is the podocyte cell. I make a draw. Right. This is the one podocyte cell. This other podocyte cell. This other podocyte cell. This one is other podocyte cell. This is a podocyte cell. It means the inner wall lined with podocyte. This wall we call as a visceral wall. This wall, this cell, this is a podocytes. The inner wall lined with podocyte. You can observe here in between this podocyte. In between the podocyte, some gaps. It means pores. This slit pores. These pores we call as slit pores. Is a very most important slit pores. What I am saying to you is very easy. This Bowman's capsule is aligned with two walls. One is the inner wall, one is the outer wall. The inner wall is lined with podocyte cell. This layer we call as visceral layer. Okay, so in between the one cell to the other cell, it has some space or it has some gap. That is a slit pores. Okay, the next one is we make a diagram, outer wall. Now I am using black color, outer wall. The outer wall is lined with squamous epithelium cell. Outer wall is lined with squamous epithelium cells. Very flat cells. This is a squamous epithelium cells is a flat cells. This is also a make a diagram here. This is a squamous epithelium cells. This is the actual structure of nephron. But our drawing very easily like this. But this is the actual structure. This is outer layer. This outer layer we call as parietal layer. Parietal layer. So line with this parietal line with squamous epithelium cells. Squamous epithelium cells. This is the nucleus is there. Squamous epithelial cells. It's a very easy. Here two wall is there. It means Bowman's capsule is lined with the two walls. The inner wall we call as visceral wall. It means the inner wall lined with podocyte cell. That is a visceral wall. The next one is outer wall. This is the outer wall of Bowman's capsule. Is lined with squamous epithelial cell. This is called parietal wall. This is a parietal wall. Let us see, observe the squamous epithelium all are very flat and is a podocyte. In between the one podocyte to other podocyte, it has some pores. The pores we call as slit pores. Now I make a diagram also. Glomerulus also can draw here. Glomerulus. Like I make a diagram glomerulus. This is a afferent arteriole. This afferent arteriole is dividing into fine branches. This is dividing. This is the capillaries. A bunch of capillaries. I am using the red blue color. So this is a bunch of capillaries. So very easy. This is a afferent arteriole dividing into fine branches. These branches we call as, what is these branches we call as? Capillaries. These capillaries we call as glomerulus. These capillaries we call as glomerulus. These glomerulus arranging the one smaller tube. These two we call arranging one smaller tube. These two we call as efferent arteriole. Right here, the blood will be filtered into the glomerulus. How is the blood will be filtered here? Right, let us see how the blood will be filtered. So, this capillaries, it means glomerulus brought the blood through the afferent arteriole. From the afferent arteriole, the blood is passing into glomerulus. And in this glomerulus, blood will be filtered. How to blood will be filtered? Because of, you can observe this afferent arteriole tube and efferent arteriole tube. The both tubes you can observe, the afferent arteriole tube will be wider, but efferent arteriole tube will be narrow. So here pressure will be developed, automatically blood will be filtered here. What I am saying very easy. Here afferent arteriole, the tube is a very wider than compared to the efferent arteriole. Due to the reason here pressure will be developed into the glomerulus. So blood will be filtered. After filtered blood, here very important, blood will be filtered. This filtered blood comes into the Bowman's capsule. How the blood will comes into Bowman's capsule? Through the split pores. As I know here, through the split pores. These are split pores. Through the split pores, what it filter? The filter fluid comes into the Bowman's capsule. This is not a urine. This is fluid we call as primary urine. Primary urine. Why? Because we call as primary urine. Because of in this fluid we have a glucose and amino acids and some of the ions and water is there. So that's why we does not call it as urine. We call it as primary urine. I'm explaining the total process. First of all, the structure of nephron. The structure of nephron has two parts. The first one is a Malpighian body. Second one is a renal tube. In this session, we are going to discuss Malpighian body. Malpighian body means Bowman's capsule plus glomerulus. Glomerulus means a bunch of capillaries we call as a glomerulus. So Bowman's capsule plus glomerulus we call as Malpighian body. In this Malpighian body, the blood will be filtered. How the blood will be filtered? We know that the Bowman's capsule, this Bowman's capsule is a two walls, okay, lined by the two walls. One is the inner wall, one is the outer wall. The inner wall is lined with podocyte cell. As I know, lined with this podocyte cell. In between the podocyte cell, it has some gap. As I know, in between the podocyte cell, it has some gaps or a pores. This one we call as a slit pores. And next one, this layer we call as a inner layer is a visceral layer. And outer layer, this is the outer layer is made up of or lined with squamous epithelium cell. Is a very flat cell, squamous epithelium cell. The next one here you can observe in the depression of the Bowman's capsule. It means Bowman's capsule depression. So this is a depression of the Bowman's capsule. Here bunch of capillaries are present. This bunch of capillaries came from afferent arteriole. Yes or no? Yes. Afferent arteriole dividing the fine capillaries. These capillaries we call as glomerulus. Here blood will be filtered. How the blood will be filtered? You can observe afferent arterial tube and efferent arterial tube. Afferent arterial tube will be wider, but efferent arterial tube will be narrow. So due to the reason, so here pressure will be developed, blood will be filtered. Pressure will be developed, blood will be filtered. Here what it filtered fluid? What it filtered fluid comes into the Bowman's capsule through the slit pores. Through the slit pores. This is the Malpighian body. Now we are going to discuss renal tubule. Right. Renal tubule means very easy. So I hope you all of you understand this concept. Now we are going to discuss renal tubule. Very easy. Renal tubule also very easy. Let us draw here. Right. Renal tube. Right. What is the renal tube? Renal tube means PCT plus DCT plus loop of Henle. So here PCT and here PCT, DCT, loop of Henle together we call as renal tubule. Is a very easy. Renal tubule means is a very easy. Renal tubule means PCT, DCT, loop of Henle we call as renal tubule. I make a diagram here. Structure of nephron for your easy understanding here. Make a diagram, nephron diagram. Right. Let us see here. This is a Bowman's capsule. This is a PCT, and here downwards U shape. Yes or no? Again here coil part. Finally collecting tube. Yes or no? Here I make a names. Bowman's capsule, Bowman's capsule plus glomerulus we call as Malpighian body. Here renal tubule means very easy. Renal tubule means This PCT region means proximal convoluted tube, and this is a coil, again coil here, DCT. DCT means distal convoluted tube, plus this is a loop of Annealy. This is a loop of Annealy. These three together we call as renal tubule. Now we are going to explain renal tubule. Finally DCT is the last part of the nephron. This nephron, this DCT connect with the collecting duct. Later we are going to discuss this collector, where the open this collecting duct. First we can, in this session we are going to discuss what is the PCT, what is the DCT, and loop of Annealy also. Right, let us see. In this renal tubule, what is the first part? PCT is a first part of the renal tubule. The second is loop of Annealy. The third one is DCT. Now we are going to explain PCT. So write down here. This is a, right here, again this coil part. Again this coil. Yes or no? Yes. Again this coil part we call, again this coil part we call as PCT. PCT means proximal convoluted tubule. PCT means proximal convoluted tubule. In this PCT region, what the function of PCT? So here what is filtered fluid comes into Bowman's capsule. So this filtered fluid is going to the PCT region. Here also we are calling to the primary urine only. So here also this PCT lined with brush border epithelium. This is a very most important. PCT lined with brush border epithelium. Brush border epithelium. Brush border epithelium. It means brush border epithelium means the cells have a microvilli. Let us make a diagram. This is the brush border epithelium. It means the cells have a microvilli. This is called brush border epithelium. This, the PCT region is lined with brush border epithelium cell. This is a PCT lined with the brush border epithelium cells. Make a diagram here. Lined with, here also lined with brush border epithelium cells. What is the function of here brush border epithelium? Right, increase the surface area. What is the importance of the brush border epithelium cell? Brush border epithelium means the cells have a microvilli. This is a finger-like extension. We call as a microvilli. What is the function of brush border epithelium? What is the function of here brush border epithelium? Increase the surface area. Increase the surface area. Increase the surface area. The next one here, in this cell, more mitochondria are present. More mitochondria are present. More mitochondria are present. Why? Because in brush border epithelium cells having the more mitochondria. Because of, I am writing here, because of in the PCT region active absorption takes place. Active absorption takes place. What is the active absorption? Is a very most important and very easy also. This Bowman capsule is continued with a coiled part. That is the PCT. PCT means proximal convoluted tube. This proximal convoluted tube, the lined with brush border epithelium cell. What is the brush border epithelium cell means? The cell have a microvilli. Microvilli means the finger-like extension, that is called a brush border epithelium cell. What is the importance of the brush border epithelium cell? It means, so the increase the surface area here in the PCT region. The next one, the more mitochondria are present in PCT cell. It means brush border epithelium cell having the more mitochondria. So right, what is given to the mitochondria? Mitochondria given to the energy. Given to the energy. All of you know that our body, every cell having the mitochondria. But here brush border epithelium cell having the more number of mitochondria is present. Why? Because of active absorption is takes place. Active absorption means here you can understand very easy. In the PCT region, and this here, in the PCT region, 100% glucose is absorbed and 100% amino acids is absorbed and 70%, 75%, wait, 100% is glucose is absorbed, 100% amino acids is present, absorbed, and 70% of water is absorbed. The next one, 70 to 75% of potassium and sodium also absorbed in the PCT region. Here, glucose and is a very most important. Observe very carefully. Glucose and amino acids and the sodium and potassium absorbed with the help of energy. Without energy, here glucose and amino acid not absorbed. So here active absorption means here absorb the glucose and amino acid with the energy, with the required. It means glucose and amino acid absorbed in the PCT region. So for the absorption of the glucose and amino acid, we require the energy. This energy is given by the mitochondria. So that's why this here brush border epithelium cell having the more mitochondria. And repeat again, very easy. This one is easy. So here this is a brush border epithelium cell. This brush border epithelium is having a much more number of mitochondria is present. Why? Because here in the PCT region, active absorption takes place. What is the active absorption? The glucose and amino acids absorbed by the actively. Actively means with required energy. Okay, here absorption of glucose and amino acid with the help of energy. It means here the energy will be required. This energy given by these mitochondria. The energy given by the mitochondria. That's why in the PCT region, brush border epithelium cell having the number of mitochondria. Again, this water, 70% to 75% of water absorbed by the passive process. What is a passive means? It not require the energy. So active absorption is required the energy given by the mitochondria in the brush border epithelium cell having the mitochondria. But here the water is absorbed here in the PCT region. 75% of water is absorbed in the PCT region by the passive process, not active. Passive means osmosis and diffusion. All of we know that osmosis and diffusion process, class 9. Okay, here water is absorbed by the osmosis process. So osmosis process does not require to the energy. Okay, so this is the information about the Bowman's capsule, glomerulus, and next one PCT. If the 3 is completed, Malpighian body means Bowman's capsule plus glomerulus we call as Malpighian body. So renal tubule means PCT and DCT and loop of Henle, that is called as a renal tubule. The PCT will be completed. Now we are going to discuss loop of Henle. The next one, DCT region. Let us understand to here. And right. The next one, we are moving to the next part. PCT will be completed and loop of Henle. The next one, loop of Henle. The next one, so this is the Bowman's capsule and coil part and descending. This is a descending limb. This is descending and U depression and U shape. This is called ascending and again a depression. Finally connect the collecting duct. Here what we understand, this one is completed. Bowman's capsule is completed. PCT, it means renal tubule. PCT is completed. The next one, loop of Henle and DCT. Right, here what we understand very easy. This is a loop of Henle. This is a descending limb. Descending means downward. This is a ascending. This descending is aligned with squamous epithelium. Squamous epithelium cells. Squamous epithelium cells. And this is the loop of Henle here. This primary urine preceded to moving to the loop of Henle. Loop of Henle to the urine is going to the DCT region. DCT means distal convoluted tube. The DCT to finally the primary urine is going to the collecting duct. This is a collecting duct. This is a collecting duct. Here we call as urine. Here we call as urine. Here we call as urine. This collecting duct open into the pyramid. All of you know that, well known about the pyramid. This collecting duct finally open into the pyramids. The pyramids is the, although I am told you in the first one, the previous video, the pyramids for the secretion, it collected by calyces, minor calyces. The next one, minor calyces to urine is going to the major calyces. The major calyces urine is going to the a funnel tube, a wider in the kidney, that is a ureter to urinary bladder to finally moving to the urethra. This is a very most important. The sequence is a very most important. The first one, I make a diagram here also for your easy understanding. Right? This is a artery. Right. This one is a artery, main arteriole. Sorry, this one a renal artery. The renal artery divided into fine branches. That the fine branches we call as arteriole. Yes or no? This is a arteriole. This is arteriole. Arteriole to blood is passing to the main artery to arteriole. The blood is moving to the glomerulus. The glomerulus means this arteriole divided into fine branches. This bunch of capillaries we call as glomerulus. This here the blood will be filtered. Here blood will be filtered. We know that this glomerulus erasing the one tube. This is a efferent arteriole. This is a afferent arteriole. This is a efferent arteriole. So we are going to discuss what is the efferent arteriole. But in this session we are going to discuss only nephron. And now here this is a Bowman's capsule. Here filtration will be takes place. Now I am using the one important topic is filtration membrane. Filter membrane. Filter membrane means glomerulus plus this podocyte. Yes or no? Podocytes will be in between the slit pores. Podocytes in between the glomerulus and podocyte having the one membrane is there. This is a black color. This membrane we call as basement membrane. Basement membrane. So these three we call as the filter membrane. Why we call filter membrane? Because of here glomerulus blood will filter comes to the basement membrane. Basement membrane to what it filter comes into the Bowman's capsule through the in between the podocyte having some pores, that is through the slit pores. The filtered fluid comes into the Bowman's capsule. So Bowman's capsule too. Thus this is a primary urine. We call the urine. This is a primary urine. Primary urine is going to PCT. Already we know the total information about the PCT. PCT urine is going to the loop of Henle. So this is a descending limb. This is a ascending limb. Okay. So descending limb is made lined with squamous epithelium. This is a ascending limb. This ascending limb lined with cuboidal epithelium cell. DCT also lined with cuboidal epithelium cell. The finally this primary urine going to the collecting the here we call as urine. The urine is opening, this collecting that open into the pyramids. the pyramid is opening to the minor calyces. Sorry, the pyramids are porous secretion collected by minor calyces. Minor calyces to going to the major calyces. Major calyces to ureter. Ureter to the urinary bladder. I make a diagram all parts in a one kidney. For your easy understanding, you have better idea. I make a diagram all parts in the kidney. Right. So very easy. So this is a kidney. Right. This is a kidney here. This is a kidney. In the kidney, some pyramids. I make only one pyramid. Pyramids are present in the medullary region. Yes, right. This is a pyramid. I make a nephron here. This is a cortex region. I make a one nephron. 1 million of nephrons are present approximately in kidney. So this is a nephron. This is a loop of Henle here. The loop of Henle to moving coil. We're finally collecting duct. This collecting duct opening into the pyramid. So from this pyramid for the secretion, it collected by minor calyces. Number of minor calyces are present. So number of pyramids are present. This minor calyces joined with the major calyces. Only 3 major calyces are present. Yes or no? Only 3 major calyces are present. These major calyces are opening into the some pyramid like a very funnel tube that is called ureter. Here is opening secrete. The secretion fluid going to the ureter. Ureter to the going to the urinary bladder. Urinary bladder to urine is going to the urethra. The final urine is passed out. This is a